folks, how you doing? It's the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast right here for the 1st of April. How do I know it's the 1st of April? It's the worst day that is in memory for me. From the time I was really young, I have always hated this day. I've always hated the fact that people have to think that humor comes from practical jokes and from trying to, screw up somebody's life by extended explanations of something happening or had happened or whatever, big giant stories and all this. I think in my view, from my perspective, I think we should just ban April Fools altogether. We should. I know I talk about banning stuff all the time, but let me ask you a question, and I'm going to start out the show by asking this question, and you're going to have to answer this on your own. If you want to answer me, you can email me at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. That's AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. So I'm going to ask you this question. If you're talking to someone, if you know the absolute truth to something with the facts to back up what you say, and you talk to somebody, and in that conversation you present your side of the argument. It's just part of, I say argument, I use that word loosely. You're just conversing with the other person, so you decide to share with them the information that you have. So that's the whole premise to this. So here's the question. Why is it when you present people with the facts, they say, and I quote, "I don't want to hear it because I don't want it ruining my day," unquote. In what Shangri-La utopian society do these people think they live in? Okay? Just wondering. After the show yesterday and throughout the day, I thought to myself, wow, I sounded a little bitter on my show, because every once in a while I listen back to my shows, I replay my shows, and I listen to them, and I see where, if there was something I missed or if there was something I said I was going to talk about and never did. So I listened to my show and I thought to myself, I sounded just a little bitter. just a tad about certain things. And I want you to know that I'm not really bitter. I am frustrated, disappointed, absolutely at the end of my patience rope with people, but I'm not bitter, because bitter means that you're angry about something. Me, I'm just not really angry. I'm just frustrated, like I said. But as we go through our day, let's remember one thing. Other people may not know the same information we do. So to share that with them in a conversation and have them ask you or to tell you, oh, I don't want to hear it because I don't want it ruining my day, give them this reply. As of 9/11/2001, your day is already ruined. Let's see how they take that one. Email me, AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com, AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. You can support the American Liberty Radio Network by going to my website at WayneSPierce.com and check that out. I got a store there if you want to buy my book, Many Directions of Man, just observations and some things that I've seen in life. So anyway, American Liberty Radio at USA.com is the address, and I shall be back right after this. This is the American Liberty Radio Network. Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz is your home for all the independent music and movies you need. For more information, go to radiorocktheblitz.blogspot.com. Who are these people, and where did they come from? Zombie versus shark. Zombie versus shark.podbean.com. Hey folks, this is the Wayne Esker Show podcast right here for the 1st of April 2015. Please do not freak too many people out today. In America, we have this thing called April Fool's Day. And it's just making fun of other people. That's all it is. It's freaking them out. It's making fun of other people. It's twisting things around to screw with your head. And, and it's stupid. It's a stupid day. It always has been and it always will be. So, there you go. Anyway. No, I'm not bitter. I listened to my show yesterday while cruising around the place and getting stuff done, and I got to tell you, I did sound just a tad bitter, just a bit. So let's hope doesn't sound that way today. Okay. Hey, welcome to everybody listening over in the Netherlands, over in Pakistan, over in Japan, over in Mexico. I love you citizens over there, but your government sucks. Okay. It's just. You're citizens, you're human beings, you got flesh and blood like I do. Like everybody in America. There's 7 billion people on this planet. And we're going to let maybe 10% of them, so not even 10%, 7 billion, we're going to allow upwards to 1,000 people to control everybody on the planet? Well, how freaking stupid is that? Hello? Strength in numbers. Remember that one. All right? So anyway, to all my fellow planetary citizens over in Mexico, Netherlands, Pakistan, Japan, even in China, that they don't get this show, so because they have Chinese-style internet, which of course is trying to be implemented here under the, what is that? Net neutrality? Fairness doctrine? Yeah, why don't we just kick these politicians in the ass and tell them, look, we're your boss, you're going to do exactly what we tell you to do. Freedom and liberty, security and peace. Think of those. Those are your ideologies right now. Okay? I don't think Reno, Nevada, where I'm broadcasting from, recording this podcast in, I don't think the leaders in this city would like 10,000 people out in the streets calling for their heads like the citizens in that movie Frankenstein when they came with pitchforks and torches. Okay? And don't give me this psychological trippy bullcrap about, the monster was misunderstood. Yeah, the monster wasn't the big flat-headed guy, walking around. No, the monster was the doctor. There's some, correlations there. L. Frank Baum. You know who that was? Can you say Wizard of Oz? Allegories. He wrote in allegories. Plus, of course, you can also go to this extreme as well. People will find something in a story that never was there in the first place. Okay? So you got that to deal with too. So here we are on the 1st of April, 2015. I hope you're having a good day. I hope. I tell people all the time, you put your feet on the floor, you stand up, hey, you're going to have a good day. You're breathing, that's always a good sign. You got a pulse, Some people need like 4 or 5 cups of coffee before they even feel their pulse, but, hey. Speaking of which, I'm on my first cup now. Anyway, hello to all you worldwide fans of the American Liberty Radio Network and the Wayne S. Pierce Show and the Views Express Live. Hey, a little show note for you. The Views Express Live, I keep saying this, but I have to really sit back and think about this and really retool the show. The Views Express Live will come back. So, it's already April. It's already, 4 months into the new year. When is it coming back? Soon. Very soon. There's other shows like this online. So I want you to go over and go to Facebook, first of all, and look for Brian Keller, Kellar. He's taking a hiatus from his shows because, well, he needs support. I'm not going to lie. It costs us money to do stuff like this. I'm doing this out of my pocket because I enjoy each and every one of these shows that I do. But I also appreciate you for being human beings, for understanding what's going on. And if you don't know, feel free to ask me, and I'll help you figure it out. But I'm not going to hold your hand and take you to the answers. You're going to have to do that on your own. Okay? So Brian Keller needs your help. Go to Facebook, go to Brian Keller, and ask him what you can do to help him keep his show on the air. As a matter of fact, here's somebody else. Go to Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker and ask him how you can support his network. Okay? We all need help, folks. I'm not just here, asking you to support American Liberty Radio Network. There's other people out there like me, and I'm asking for you to help them too. You can help me. Go to my website. Everything's there. Wayne S. Pierce, Pierce, WayneSPierce.com. All the ways to support this network is right there. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. More than happy to answer any question you have. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. If you want to sponsor the show, hey, that's going to benefit both of us, so that's great. Ask me how you can sponsor a show. I'm not out to break your advertising budget, so it's going to be pretty reasonable. So there you go. What is going on? Yesterday on the podcast, I mentioned that that a Russian analyst said the best way to get rid of America is to drop a nuke on San Andreas Fault or at Yosemite. Okay? And then he kind of, I read the article and all of that, and I noticed that he started backtracking just a little. It's like, yeah, okay, this is what, we know is happening. And so he's backtracking. He knows he opened his mouth and stuck his foot in it. So there are a lot of ways that we can protect ourselves. Perhaps it would be wise to review America's founding principles regarding overgrown military establishments and the threat they pose to the liberty of the citizenry. Jacob G. Hornberger. Go look that up. Matter of fact, that's an awesome picture. I am going to save that picture, and I am going to post that on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page. Okay. Scientists say new study is a death blow to global warming hysteria. Michael Bastache writes that. Obama plans, quote-unquote, executive order for UN climate rules. Man cannot control the climate, and for man to think that he can control the climate is very arrogant and conceited of him to do so. Since the late 1960s, 67, 68, he's been modifying the weather through geoengineering. We now call those chemtrails. Don't tell me I'm wrong. Prove it. Okay? Just saying, you got to prove yourself right before you go anyplace else to share any information with anyone else. You got to make sure it's right. I did. So there you go. McDonald's downfall. Yes, everybody loves McDonald's, don't they? Even kids aren't eating fast food anymore. You wouldn't know that by going to Walmart. One of our Walmarts here in Reno, Nevada has a McDonald's in it. I have never, around lunchtime and around dinner time, between 11 and 1 in the morning and the afternoon, and around between 4 to 7, around in there, there's a lot of people there. And I'm thinking to myself, why are they putting that garbage in their body? Just wondering. DHS funded drill simulates. Sorry, I don't mean to burp on air, but it's a rarity. DHS-funded drill simulates nuke attack on U.S.-Mexico border. Isn't that wonderful? IRS boss tells Republicans agencies won't be abolished. What? IRS? Hold on. IRS boss tells Republicans agency won't be abolished. Yeah, because they're a private organization. They're the arm-twisting enforcers of the Federal Reserve Bank, which is also a private organization, which, of course, needs to be put out of business. And the only way to do that is, well, we know, don't we? So let's go to another one. The stock market in 2015 is starting to look remarkably similar to the stock market in 2008. You financial people out there might get a kick of that one. None of these are going to be put on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page or the American Liberty Radio Network Facebook page. These are all on Infowars.com. Go to Infowars.com, check those headlines out, read the articles. I want people to understand one thing, that I go everywhere. I go to Reuters, I go to AP, I go to Federal Documents, I go everywhere. Okay? Just saying. Okay? And when you have so many people out there that are well within their reason to lie, then you're going to have somebody coming up and saying, wait, hold on. Here's the truth with the facts. And that ain't no BS, people. Now, I want to lay this out to you. I want to lay this out to you because I want you to understand where this whole country is headed at this point. Now, we've seen a whole bunch of buildup of military and all of that since 9/11/2001. We understand that. Rumsfeld's in on it. Jeb Bush is in on it. All that. Dick Cheney, he was the one that told the military to stand down. Everybody's in on it. Now, the thing that really has me scratching my head most of the time is how come people cannot see any of this? How can they not see any of this? How can they not see that 1 + 1 = 2? How can they not see who put all this together, planned it, implemented it? And how can they not see that it took them 8 years from 1993 with the truck bombing in the World Trade Center in the garage to 2001 September 11th? How can they not see that the plans were in place? How can they not see that they were testing the waters, let's say? How can... What? The truth... Thank you, Chris Carter of the X-Files. The truth is out there. And you're not seeing it? Are you so bullheaded that you don't want to see this? I just don't get the apathy of people. I don't. I don't. Okay? Here's something. Facebook accused of tracking all users even if they delete accounts. Ask never to be followed. Even if you delete your account and say, don't follow me, they're going to follow you anyway. You know why? Go to youtube.com, look up, search for Facebook CIA connection. Okay? A new report claims that Facebook secretly installs tracking cookies on users' computer, allowing them to follow users around the internet even after they've left the website, deleted their account, and requested to be no longer followed. The academic researchers said that the report showed that the company was breaking European law with its tracking policies. The law requires that users are told if their computers are receiving cookies except for specific circumstances. Facebook's tracking, which it does so that it can tailor advertising. I wanted to emphasize that because it's all about the money, folks. Involves putting cookies and small pieces of software on users' computers so that they can be followed around the internet. Such technology is used by almost every website, but European law requires that users are told if they are being given cookies or being tracked. Companies don't have to tell users if the cookies are required to connect to a service or if they are needed to give the user information that they have specifically requested. In other words, folks, they put these trackers on there. Certain companies are going, hey, great, wonderful, fantastic. I, myself, personally, as a user, did not give that company permission to use my information, but the company's going, screw you, we're going to use it anyway. So there you go. Continuing, but Facebook's tracking policy allows it to track users if they have simply been to a page on the company's domain, even if they weren't logged in. That includes pages for brands or events which users can see whether or not they have an account. Hello? Have you ever been cruising around on Facebook and you go to this and you go to that and then you get off, you just minimize the window or totally get off of Facebook and go to a website, let's say to a website about ice cream or something, and then you come back to Facebook and 2 minutes later on the right-hand side you see an ad for ice cream? Hello? 1 + 1 = 2 in my book, folks. Facebook disputes the accusations of the report. It told The Independent, quote, the report contains factual inaccuracies, unquote. What? This report contains factual inaccuracies. Quote, the authors have never contacted us nor sought to clarify any assumptions upon which their report is based. Neither did they invite our comment on the report before making it public. We have explained in detail the inaccuracies in the earlier draft report after it was published directly to the Belgium DPA, who we understand commissioned it and have offered to meet with them to explain why it is incorrect, but they have declined to meet or engage with us. However, we remain willing to engage with them and hope they will be prepared to update their work in due course, unquote. That's a long version of saying the report is a lie. I'm just putting it out there. Continuing, the report does not have any legal standing and was written by independent academics. With respect to the European data, Facebook is regulated by Irish Data Protection Commissioner, who checks that Facebook is acting within the EU's data protection directive. As part of that regulation, Facebook is regularly audited. Facebook has a page on its site that gives users information about cookies and how they are used on the network. The company makes clear that cookies are used for the purposes of advertising and other functions, and that users can opt out of such tracking if they wish to. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. In MSNBC ratings crater to all-time low. You know why? Because they're a stupid network. Two people. Ed Schultz, Rachel Maddow. And MSNBC's rating crater to all-time lows. Fox News tops first quarter's results. CNN is up. Let me clarify a few things for you. Networks work upon, much like mine, work upon ratings, number one, and revenue, number two. That's how they work in the big time mainstream. Because if you ain't got the people watching, the advertisers don't want to even support the network. Okay. This is plain and simple. That's the way it works. Okay. Now, if you, as a viewer of one of these mainstream media outlets, have ever been influenced, if you have ever been influenced by any of the advertisers on these networks, yeah, I should at some point hear you go, meh, because that's pretty much what you're doing. When you look at independent alternative networks, yes, they have sponsors. Yes, they try to do everything they can, and they struggle every day, just like my network, to stay above water. Some of us put our own money into it with no advertising, with no sponsorships. Some of us do it just because we want to do it. But the facts of the matter are, is our overhead gets a little expensive at times, and your support is definitely, for independent and alternative media, definitely appreciated. So on that note, I will say that if you want to support American Liberty Radio Network, please do go to my website, WayneSPierce.com. There's all kinds of ways to support this network, even buy my book, Many Directions a Man. So after the break at the bottom of the hour, I'll come back and read you that financial report from, it's from Deadline.com. So when I get back from the break, I'll read the rest of that. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, even if you disagree with me, the burden of proof is on you. No question is off limits. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. And this is the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast right here on the American Liberty Radio Network. This is the American Liberty Radio Network. New West Theater, Reno, Nevada is looking for you. If you're an actor or an actress in the Reno, Sparks, Carson City area, please contact New West Theater at New West Theater at USA.com. New West Theater at USA.com. Go to newwesttheater.weebly.com for more information. Eastland Radio Theater presents Ace in the Hole. The scanners aren't showing anything. I know that ship is out here somewhere. If I was a betting man, I would have to say I would be off this base before your security knew I was even here. If I were you, I wouldn't trust someone with a blaster pointed at their back. Another day, another few thousand credits for me. Not a bad day, if I may say so myself. Not a bad day at all. EastlandRadioTheater.weebly.com. A Day in the Life. New West Theater, in association with Eastland Radio Theater, presents A Day in the Life. Day in the Life is a series that reveals the very heart of the people and their daily lives. Each person has a story to tell. Each story is a snapshot of what people are going through or have seen at the time. It is truly a day in the life. Hey folks, how you doing? Welcome back. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast on the American Liberty Radio Network, right here on the 1st of April, 2015. April Fool's sucks. Yeah, I hate this day. I hate this day with a freaking passion, folks. I just cannot stand this day. Never have, never will. Even when I was a kid, even when I was like 4 or 5 years old, I hated this day. I don't know how many other people hate it, but oh man. Can we just go from March 31st to April 2nd? You know? I mean, come on. Well, March 31st was an interesting day for me as well. So, years ago. So, I'll tell you that story before. Or I'll tell you that story later. What happened to me about that time. Yeah, I haven't had enough coffee, folks, okay? Hey, grab your coffee, grab your morning bun. Thank you, Starbucks. Yeah, cinnamon roll. Hello. Yeah, what the hell? Anyway, enough of me chit-chatting here with you. Hey, little show note. My awesome, adorable co-host from another state in Michigan, another state, that would be Michigan. I'm not like President Obama, who said he had to go to, 7 other states after 50 to, get his campaign going. But Laura Clemens and I are going to bring back the unnamed show because, well, she's wanting to do a show and we haven't done one in a while. So we're going to bring back a show. We're going to have, I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to bring it back. It's going to be, we're looking at either Monday or Tuesday night. Either one, we haven't figured that one out yet, but that's what we're going to do. The show is the unnamed show because we just couldn't come up with a name. So we figured, hey, why not? That's kind of catchy. The unnamed show. Why not? So it's going to be Laura Clemens and I talking about anything under the sun. We usually, for some reason, get into food and entertainment. I don't know. It's not like we're going to have a housewarming party anytime soon, but it's like we get into those. We get into food and we get into entertainment. I don't know. But we talk about everything under the sun. We talk about personal relationships. We talk about how, she talks about her time with Weight Watchers and talks about health issues and talks about them. So we may get into that because I'm trying to watch my health too as well. I think everybody is at this point. But the Unnamed Show with your host, myself, Wayne S. Pierce, and Laura Clemens will be back soon. And stay tuned to the American Liberty Radio Network for more information on that. Because, who knows? We may pop in on Monday night. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Stay tuned. I'll give you more details as they come. So, onward and upward to the news over at Deadline.com. MSNBC ratings crater to all-time lows. Fox News tops the first quarter results, and CNN is up. Talk about a tale of two cable news networks. With its 53rd consecutive quarter total audience win, Fox News Channel saw a 10% primetime rise among adults 24 to 54 in the first quarter of 2015 over last year. In fact, the 321,000 on average among the 24 to 54s, or 25 to 54s, in prime time, Fox News trashed rival, or thrashed, not trashed, either way, thrashed rival CNN at 187,000 and MSNBC at 132,000, with more news demo viewers, more than the other two combined. Okay? According to the Nielsen ratings. There's a related story. The related story is NBC takes total viewers. ABC dominates demo as evening news ratings kerfluffle concludes. Years ago in journalism, when I took journalism, we never used the word kerfuffle. I'm just putting it out there. Contrast that to the fate of NBC Universal-owned MSNBC, which not only saw a 39% drop in the demo compared to quarterly 1 in 2014, but its worst quarterly result in the category since quarterly 2 of 2005. If that almost decade-old result wasn't enough of a blow, the rising CNN's fourth consecutive win over MSNBC in primetime didn't cut deep enough. Take a look at the gutting the cabler newsers' nighttime offerings are suffering. In other words, look at who's watching. Okay? Look at what they're... When you present anything, I don't care if it's an entertainment program or a news program, you have to have the bullet points ready. You have to catch their attention. You have to be right there. I know I'm giving you inside information that I've known for years because I've taken journalism and talked to other journalists and talked to other independents it all is in the presentation. If you're up in people's faces and you say, look, I'm not going to, gloss it over. Here's what's happening. You're going to have more people looking at your information than you are sitting there with this glazed look on your face and a 1,000-mile stare going, in tonight's news, we have... It's just not going to work. You got to... Truth in advertising, truth in journalism. None of those exist in 2015, except for the independents and alternatives. And people are leaving the mainstream news organizations, literally. Anchors are leaving, going elsewhere, okay? Because they know they're lying. Okay? One of the Fox News people in the last 8 months has left Fox News and went to CNN. Well, they went from, a neocon organization funded by 10% of it, funded by a Saudi prince, to CNN, which is funded by Israel. Hello. Well, I don't know if they're funded by Israel, but I know Israel has a big, huge influence on CNN. Okay? So there you go. But I will put this up on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page for all you financial geeks to take a look at. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you geeks, but hey, if the shoe fits, right? Anyway, love you guys. Really do appreciate your support. Appreciate you sharing the show when you can and getting other people to listen to it. I really, really do appreciate that. Honestly, I do. So, if we are to believe what is coming out of Washington, D.C., my question is, where is your integrity at? What is your character like? When you woke up this morning, did you decide, let's see, do I take the red pill or do I take the blue pill? That's entirely up to you, folks. I'm just putting it out there. Just putting it out there, okay? I don't know. I do not know why people seem to think that if they ignore something, it's going to go away. It's not like when you were a kid and you threw your blankets over your head going, oh my God, there's monsters in the room. It's really, really dark. It's not like a big, giant, scary monster came in and looked at you with the covers over your head and went, oh man, I got the covers over. I can't do that. Oh man. No. Just because you close your eyes doesn't mean the bad things are going to go away. Why are people completely ignoring what's going on? Now, I'm speaking directly to those people who sit around and when myself and other people talk to them about what's going on, they say, oh, I don't want to hear it because I don't want it ruining my day. Talking to those people. Okay? I want to stay happy and positive all day. Okay, there's this thing called coffee. I think you need to switch to decaf, okay? I'm just saying. Just putting it out there. But you go have your lattes, Hey, I'm going to say this, just FYI, I like Starbucks. I don't like their politics. I don't like, what they, I don't know. But I like their coffee. But you're funding their anti blah, 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 blah. It's coffee, folks. And if you don't want their fancy, double lattes with half calf, you can always order a black coffee that they have in a pot sitting behind the counter. Okay? It's that freaking simple. Okay? Or go to your local coffee places. Around here in Reno, we have several of them, and I've tried them. And guess what? Pretty damn good. Yeah. So you want to sit with your espresso in your outdoor cafe, sipping along and thinking, oh, look, I don't want to listen to all this bad news because I don't want my day ruined. Your day is already ruined. It's called the Patriot Act enforced by the Homeland Security. Hello. Your day is already ruined. So, there you go. From San Francisco.cbslocal.com, mysterious booms keep some Berkeley residents up all night. Residents living in some Berkeley neighborhoods have been kept up at night over mysterious booms heard in the area over the past few weeks. It's an unsolved mystery that even has police scratching their heads. Rachel Marzoline? I don't know. Sorry, Rachel. Sorry, Rachel. I'm butchering your name. KPIX5 said about the booms she heard 2 nights ago, quote, I'd say it was around 1 a.m. Scared the hell out of me. I jumped out of bed, unquote, she said. Joel Bryant said he heard the booms at least 8 different times in the last month. Quote, we're puzzled by it, unquote. Quote, it's not as crisp as a gunshot. It sounds more like a aerial bomb explosion, unquote. Berkeley police tell KPIX they can't solve the mystery either, which has led some residents to Twitter using the hashtag Berkeley Boom to report the sounds. So that's interesting, folks, don't you think? A little something there, huh? I want you to understand that if there was one thing, just one thing that could change the whole dynamic of this country, don't you think we would have done it? And please think about this. Here you are. You're in your cushy homes, driving your fancy cars, going to your slave wage job. And you're trying to struggle to keep your head above water. But you're complaining that you don't get enough from your slave wage job to keep the roof over your head. Now you've got people complaining and protesting and demanding a higher wage. The excuse or the reasoning behind that is these companies make billions of dollars a year. Why don't they kick us down a living wage? 1 + 1 still equals 2, folks, in my book. Screw Common Core, Communist Core. When you walk into a burger joint, I don't care where it is, your mom and pop's on the corner or the big fancy ones down the street, if you see a hamburger that's $4.95 or a meal that's $6.95, guarantee you if those workers are going to want $15 an hour, that price on that menu is going to go up. And you're going to have to pay more. And guess what? The greatest example of how much of a failure that truly is Seattle. They raised the minimum wage. Companies had to close. Why? They can't pay people that much and still have a bottom line to pay their overhead. So you people out there bitching for a higher wage, you just better shut your damn mouth or go back to school and get a better career. Because, flipping burgers is not a lifelong career. If you're in college for the first time or maybe the second or third year and you're still flipping burgers, there's something wrong with you. Okay? I've been shift lead. I've been, just you name it, I've done it. And I've heard every single freaking excuse that you can make. I need a better wage because I have to live. Really? Then this company's going to go under if you make a better wage. Why? Because the company does not have the income to support you at your higher wage. Why do you think in the last 8 months or more, just within the last year to date, people have been laid off from their job or completely terminated because of wage increase? Okay? Why do you think this happens? Number one, you don't have a tax base in your area to be able to support that company on one end of it. And then the company itself doesn't have the revenue it should or that they projected to have to support somebody wanting $15 an hour for an $8 an hour job. Folks, 1 + 1 still equals 2. Figure it out from there. All right? I mean, I don't know where people get off in wanting a better wage. Here's my plan if I was, in a position to make changes. Abolish minimum wage altogether. Institute a fair market living wage per region and a flat tax across the board if you still want taxes. Boom. Done. Companies are going to make more money. They're going to be able to pay these people. Oh, and by the way, take corporations like McDonald's and Wendy's and all these big, huge, egomaniacal companies like this. Megalomaniacs. Megacorps. And tell them you're going to pay upward to, depending on the region, upward to 45% of your revenue to the workers in the places that employ them. Well, that's going to cut into our bottom line, and we're not going to be able to advertise and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I know that, jackass. So either work something out with your workers, or you're going to have more people protesting out in front of your business, telling them just how unfair you truly are. Well, how fair do you want to be? Do you want to pay these people to keep them and to give them incentive to work for you and to help them along somehow? Because you know that probably about 20% of them are going to college, working their way through college to get a better job so they won't have to stick around your slave wage job that you're offering them. So why don't you keep them? Why don't you give them an incentive to want to work? Higher pay is not one of them. If you're not making the money and making the income as a business, you're not going to be able to pay these people. So work something out with them. Abolish the minimum wage, institute a fair market living wage per region, flat tax across the board. Oh, and how about this one? Free health care across the board. What? Somebody's going to have to pay for it. It's not always going to be free. Oh. I know companies now, very rare anymore, but I know companies who pay 100% of all health care, vision care, and dental care for their employees. It's very rare because of Obamacare, thank you very much, but they do it. And they pay their employees enough to live, okay? Not just survive, not just barely make it, but to live, all right? I know companies now, because of Obamacare, have totally gotten themselves out of that and said, we're going to pay our workers more money so they can go out and buy their own. You know what? That's an excellent idea. I remember years and years ago, back in the 70s, when Sears when it was Sears Roebuck Company, and it's just Sears now, when a couple of people I knew worked for them, full-time, unionized. Okay? Well, I think it was about 75, 76, 77, somewhere around in there. Sears decided to, reorganize and kicked out the unions and turned everybody into part-time workers because they couldn't afford the union, paying the union, wages. That's when I saw the breakup of the unions coming, and it went from there. I began to see in the 80s that certain companies, non-union factories, non-union companies, are paying quote-unquote union wages because they want to keep people. Unions have outlived their usefulness and serve no purpose except to be the wallet for the elites and enforcers in some areas. So remember this. Take into consideration where you live, what you do, and how you do it. Don't demand anything that you know, number one, that you know cannot be fulfilled by the company you work for. It ain't going to happen. And if you're in another country and you work to struggle to keep the lights on and the roof over your head, I don't know your situation. So you have to assess your situation, draw some conclusions, and make some decisions that are going to benefit your family. Okay? So when you look in America and you look in the United States, and you citizens here in the United States understand this, you know this, you know that you struggle each and every day. So you have to pay attention to what's going on around you. And by doing so, you're going to assess the situation in such a way to where you're going to say, I can either go down that road or this road. Which one? Well, That's why I'm here. That's why Brian Keller is here. That's why Nick Tucker of Distorted Reality Network is here. That's why people in the alternative and independent medias are here to tell you, hey, we know what's down this road over here on the left. Please go over here to the road on the right. I'm not talking politics or political party. I'm just talking direction at this point. You're standing at the crossroads and you have to decide what's best for you and what's going to benefit you in the long run. Assess the situation and draw your own conclusions on that. I'm not going to take you by the hand and lead you down whatever road you decide to go down, because that's up to you. You're going to have to figure that one out on your own. Go talk to Brian Lang over at livetruthradio.com. Go talk to Nick Tucker at Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook. They know. I don't know what else to tell you. You can either listen and learn and do what needs to be done, or you can still stand there with your fingers in your ears going, la, 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 I don't want to hear it because I don't want it ruining my day. That's entirely up to you. But as far as I'm concerned, you need to do something. Because as a whole, the citizens of the United States of America are obligated and have the duty to protect this country, and we will, from every enemy in the world, including the domestic enemies that we have. Okay? So which road do you want to travel down? The one where you're just going to sit in your damn easy chair watching your stupid football games on ESPN and listening to the neocons on Fox News? Or are you going to get up, put your damn boots on, strap on your, let's just say, weapon of choice, and defend this country? Because it's entirely up to you, people. And you in the Netherlands and Mexico and all of that, your government sucks. Okay? If you are not having the freedom and liberty and security and the peace that you know in your heart that you want, something is wrong with your government. Hey, I love Switzerland. Is it true? Everybody has a gun? In the United States, that's being taken away from each and every person in this country. Respond to the call to defend your nation, to defend your state, to defend your county, to defend your city and your family and your neighbors and your coworkers, because I guarantee you, you're not going to like the outcome if you don't. Now, I'm not a fearmonger by any means. I am just stating pure and unadulterated opinion, but I can base it on plenty of facts. But you need to figure out the rest for yourself to benefit you and your family. So on that note, folks, I hope I encouraged you in some way, shape, or form, because I'm here to do that. But I'm also here to tell you who's behind the curtain, pushing the buttons and pulling the handles. Come join me tomorrow on the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast, because I got more. There's going to be more news in the next 24 hours coming up, so who knows. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, even if you disagree with me, the burden of proof is on you. Email me. Ask me any questions you like. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. And if you want to support American Liberty Radio Network, you can do that by going to my website, WayneSPierce.com. Check it out. 3 ways to support the network. There you go. Talk to you people tomorrow. And remember, liberty is the road and freedom is the goal.